I'm going to start with you, Richard, because Joelle and Demetrius, who worked with you on the O.J. Simpson case, is working as a jury consultant on the Daniel Penny case for Daniel Penny's team. What do you think she's looking for as they're scanning all these jurors, and why is it proving so difficult to find an ideal jury?
Well, Elizabeth, as you've said, people's personal experiences really do inform how they interpret the evidence in the case. So they're talking a lot about, obviously, not just subway riders, but how people feel, whether they feel safe on the subway, as well as just general feelings of safety in general. Because I think that the people's attitudes towards crime, the presence of police, even politics and race and attitudes towards mental illness come into play in this case, as sometimes these high-profile trials play out. So there's a lot of nuances, especially in these big cases, as to how the issues are going to play, especially because people have heard so much about this case, pretrial publicity, whether they've spoken to other people, whether they've formed opinions about it, and whether they've created sort of a social verdict. In other words, how they already feel they want this verdict to go. So there's a lot of nuances in terms of how do you identify people who truly are open-minded and willing to listen to the case in a fair and impartial way.
Yeah, and Jesse, this got huge press, not just here in New York City, where there had been a whole series of people being shoved off subway platforms in front of trains and killed by mentally ill, homeless people. But then we had Governor Ron DeSantis, who was then running for president, make this a huge issue, a national issue, got a lot of support, raised a lot of money for Daniel Penny's defense. It would seem to me they have to find people who ride the subway regularly. How could you be a juror on this case if you haven't been underground in these subways?
Here's the problem. So jury duty, you get $40 a day, right? And employers only have to pay for about 3 days of jury duty work. The majority of people who ride the subway are those people who can't serve on this jury. They would be losing money.
They were already excused.
They were already excused. So you would have to be looking for jurors.
We're talking about hourly
wage workers. So you'd have to be looking for jurors who, take the subway occasionally or regularly because they want to. And here's the bigger difficulty. It's being reported that violent subway felonies have increased 19% since 2019. This is not an imaginary situation.
Right.
People feel this. Now, there's two ways to look at it, right? If you regularly ride the subway, you could say, I know exactly what Daniel Penny was facing. I get it. He's a hero. The other way of looking at it is, I ride the subway every day. I see all this stuff every day. I mind my own business.
Doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me. So it's interesting because you would think Daniel Penny would want subway riders. Could it work to his favor? Absolutely. But at the same time, it might not. It's kind of a really difficult case and a complicated case when you're talking about two different theories of finding him guilty, who's to blame. This is the prosecutor told prospective jurors this is not an easy case to convict.
And Jesse, we already know that, in fact, all the subway riders who were on the car the day this all happened, there were many who testified before the grand jury saying they were terrified, the most terrified they had ever been in their lives on a subway.
Right.
And other people on that same subway car who said, yeah, you see that kind of stuff every day.
That division is what you could say, looking before any evidence is presented, why you might see a hung jury. Here's the thing, what I say would be difficult for Daniel Penny. I think it would be difficult for prosecutors to say he didn't have a right to at least try to stop Jordan Neely. It's how long he maintained that, because a lot of those subway riders left the cart. And was that danger over?
All right, Richard, the atmosphere around this upcoming trial is highly charged. We've already had one potential juror have a panic attack outside the courtroom. Other potential jurors have said they were too nervous to serve. Is it unusual to have this much anxiety around your jury pool?
Not at all these days. I mean, we had this in Donald Trump's trial recently last year or earlier this year, in which jurors really get anxious because they know it's being covered nationally. They know that the press has got eyes on them. And so they know also these days that their decisions as jurors come under intense scrutiny. So sometimes they feel a lot anxious. I got to make this important decision regarding a man's life. And I know everybody's going to be looking at me. Some people just can't handle that. But I think one of the things that Jesse said, which I think was also interesting, that I think both sides are going to be looking for in this case, it's not just whether they ride the subway, but people thinking about what would I do in a similar situation? Are you the kind of person, as a jury consultant, I'm saying, are you the person who's going to go, I'm just not going to get involved, mind my own business? Or are you the kind of person like Daniel Penny who says, I'm concerned with the people around me. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to detain this guy. That kind of looking for who of which character, I think is going to be determinative of what kind of jury you get.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.